My name is Anvish Krishna, and I'm going to introduce you to our machine learning project, the Lymphographic classification tool. This project consists of four main phases: data collection and pre processing, testing our models, improving the models, and finding the best app development and documentation. I will be explaining the first phase of the project, data collection and pre processing. In this phase, we aim to download all relevant datasets related to the lymphographic classification. We use open source tools such as Kaggle and UCI machine learning repository to find a good dataset. Once we have downloaded the dataset, we perform all the necessary pre-processing steps, such as removing null values or dealing with null values, dealing with outliers, so on and so forth. We also use univariate, bivariate, and multivariate analysis to analyze the data and ensure that it is ready for the next step, model training. Next person.
I will be explaining about testing models. In this phase, we will use different models such as random forest, KNN, K nearest neighbors, decision trees, grading, gradient boosting. Python provides libraries to easily implement these algorithms. We will run these algorithms and measure their performance using relevant metrics such as accuracy, confusion matrix, precision, recall, and F1 score. These metrics will help us understand how well our models are performing in classifying the data correctly. And next person will be explaining about improving models.
My name is Asif, and I will be explaining about model improvement. So once we have tested all our models, we will we'll see the accuracy of all of our models. Once we have done that, we will perform optimization on all of these models using techniques such as hyperparametric tuning. Once we have performed hyperparametric tuning, we'll see which model has the best performance. So in our case, the KNN model, or the K nearest neighbor model, has the best accuracy of 87%. So we will use a library called Pickle, and we will save this model. Once the model has been saved, it can be used for app development, which will be explained by the next person. Thank you.
My name's Aryan Mane. I will be explaining the phase 4 app development and documentation. In this final phase of the project, we will be developing an application using basic HTML and Flask. So Flask is an micro-web framework for Python that allows us to create web applications easily. Here's a brief overview of what we will do. So the first is setting up the Flask. We will start by setting up the basic Flask application. This involves installing Flask and creating a simple web service. Creating routes. In Flask, routes determines the URL patterns that our application will respond to. We will create routes for a home page, the form submission, and predicting the results. So the next step is designing the HTML form. We will design an HTML form that allows user to input data from lymphographic classification. Integrating the models. We will load our trained model using Pickle and integrate it into our Flask application. When a user submits a form, the application will use the model to make a prediction based on the input data. Finally, we will display our result, predicting the results back to the user on the home web page. By the end of this phase, we will have a functional web application that allows user to classify lymphographic data using our trained machine learning model. Thank you.